Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. In one of the recent updates to the Dawncraft mod pack, the Ars Novo mod was removed, and with it, a lot of really awesome features, including crop farm automation with the use of familiars. In this video, I'll be showing you an alternative setup using crows from the Hexeri mod included in the Dawncraft mod pack. Hey, come here. Don't let these birds fool you. At the end of the video, I'll show you just how savage these things can be. Anyway, to get started, we need to make a cauldron at a crafting table. Then we will use that cauldron plus 5 iron ingots and 2 torches to make a mixing cauldron. Next, we'll use the mixing cauldron to make a pestle and mortar. For this, you'll need a bucket of lava, 5 stone blocks, 2 iron ingots, and 1 nether quartz. Once you have placed the materials in, you'll see this small animation with the bubbles in the middle, letting you know the cauldron is working. After you receive your pestle and mortar and place it down, it's time to make the seed mixture needed to tame the crows. For this, you'll need the seeds for each of the following crops: beetroot, wheat, sage, pumpkin, and melon. Place one of each seed into the pestle and mortar, which will then show a grinding animation for 5 seconds before it produces 1 seed mixture. This is a time-consuming process, so let's speed this up a little bit. Now for the most important part, finding and taming your crows. These crows can be found in the jungle, forest, and swamp biomes, and they're usually found in groups of 2 or 3. But they can be difficult to see. So here's a little tip. If you spot a beehive in a tree, these crows probably aren't too far away. Also, make sure to look for the crows included in the Hexeri mod. Just a little warning that the Dawncraft mod pack has 2 mods that introduce a crow, and I swear I'm not telling you this because I spent 2 hours trying to tame the wrong crow or anything, but the crows you'll be looking for move rather slow, they have large white eyes, and will land directly at your feet if you have the seed mixture in your hand. Another small warning is notice I'm in creative, and I have an unlimited amount of this seed mixture. I have had a single crow eat 34 of these seeds before it was tamed. So keep in mind that if you're planning to go out and return with a flock of these crows, you're going to need a lot of seeds. However, if you don't mind being patient, you only need to tame 2 of them, and you could breed them to get more, but I'll get to that in a minute. Once you have fed a crow enough to tame it, you'll want to right-click it to set its basic command to sit. The other basic commands include follow, wander, and gather, but for now, we just want it to stay until we've finished taming all the crows. Once you've got them all tamed and sitting, you can simply right-click each one until you've given them all the command to follow, and they will trail behind you wherever you go. 1 or 2 of them may end up perched on your shoulder for the journey. And now you can return home with your new crow familiars in tow. Now that you're back home, it's time to make the last 2 things you'll need to make an automated farm. First, the crow flute, which can be made on a crafting table with 3 mahogany planks and 2 of any color dye. Last is the coffer, which is made in the mixing cauldron but with water as the base instead of lava. Since the mixing cauldron doesn't cost much to craft, I would suggest making a second one so you have one with a water base and one with a lava base. As for the coffer, it requires 5 mahogany planks and 3 gold ingots. Now, if you ventured out into the world trying to hunt down these crows for hours and only came back with 2 or 3 like I did, then you'll probably want to take the breeding approach to get more. And it's as simple as giving them something shiny. Go grab a gold nugget and give it to one of the crows. It's going to give the nugget to the other crow, and now you have a baby crow. However, the baby does not spawn tamed, so you will have to have more seeds at the ready. Now let's assume that you have created an army of these birds at this point, and you're wondering, how do I get them to tend to my farm? Well, that's the easy part. Gather your crows up by luring them all in with the seeds, and command them all to sit. Now take out that crow flute that you made earlier, crouch right-click with it in your hand, and a menu will pop up showing all the advanced commands you can give your crows. For now, just click the select button and exit the menu. Then right-click each of the crows you want to give commands to. The flute can command up to 9 crows at a time. Now all that time and work you've put into this is about to pay off, because it's finally time to set up the auto farm. With your crows selected, head on over to your farm and pick a block that's somewhat centered between all your crops. Crouch right-click that flute again, and this time select the perch option and exit the menu. Now right-click the block you chose a moment ago, and it will be set as the crow's perch. Once that's set up, you'll want to clear all of your selected crows from the flute. Do this by cycling between the select button and the small X button in the middle until none of your crows are shown at the bottom of the menu. If you have more crows than the flute can handle at one time, just repeat this process until you have all of your crows set up where you want them. Now that your crows are where you need them, it's time to give them their jobs. Bring up the flute menu again and clear your selected birds if you haven't already. Now click the select button and exit. Then right-click the crows you want to do the harvesting. I'd say 3 or 4 would be a good number for a decent-sized farm. Once you have them selected, open the menu back up, and on the left side you have the basic commands like sit, wander, and follow. But you're going to click the last one, which is help, and on the right side you'll select harvest. Now exit the menu and right-click to play the flute. The crows that you selected will immediately start to harvest any mature crops within 20 blocks of them, but they will not collect any of it. That's where the other crows come in. Make sure to clear your harvesting crows from the flute and select the remaining crows in the middle. And with the menu open, you'll want to select the same help command on the left, but on the right, you'll click the gather command. Then exit the menu and play the flute. Notice your gathering crows aren't doing anything. That's because we haven't utilized the last item for this auto farm, the coffer. Tamed crows set to gather will pick up any items on the ground and drop them in a coffer placed close to their perch if that coffer has at least one of those items in it already. So to get your crows to gather any of this harvested rice, we need to put at least one of those items in this coffer and then toggle the crow gathering button in the bottom right. In this video, I have a coffer set up for each crop, but that's just to showcase the mechanics. You can have the crows utilize a single coffer for multiple crops simply by putting one of each crop in that coffer. And if you're looking to expand your farm in the future, you can also have the crows gather the seeds as well, following the same process. And remember, the crows have a range of about 20 blocks from their perch when it comes to harvesting and gathering. But with that said, you now have your auto farm completely set up. And if you enjoyed this video, look, I know what I said, okay? But do you see this thing? It won't let me go. It says I can't leave unless I pay a protection fee. Okay. Just give me a minute and I'll see what I can do. So, like I said at the start of this video, these crows can be petty or savage or what? Thieves. You can turn them into thieves that steal items from the villagers without you getting caught. That being said, you can set this up the same way as the farm. Bring a few crows and a coffer into the village and use the flute to set their perch on or next to where you place the coffer. Then use the flute to give your crows the pickpocket command and watch them go to work. They will steal items from any villagers that come within 20 blocks of them. However, the mechanics for pickpocket aren't quite the same as the farm. What I mean is, even though you are required to have a coffer near the crows for them to follow the pickpocket command, they won't actually put any stolen goods in the coffer, and you'll have to collect it from the birds directly. But this is still a pretty quick way to farm emeralds, and obviously more birds means more loot. But with that said, you now have your auto farm completely set up. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, just move your mouse down about 4 or 5 inches and hit that like button for me. And if you want to see more videos like this, crouch, right click, and select that subscribe button.